Hey guys, what's up? I'm going to show you a new deck for Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Network. Sorry, I'm a bit sick, so let's get right into it. Alright. Two cards that you need on the field. Either you need Nurse Recurless, the Fallen one, whatever it is. Any effect that would cause your opponent to gain life points instead inflict the same amount of damage to your opponent. So you either need that or you need a bad reaction to Simochi. As long as this card remains face up on the field, effects that increase your opponent's life points is negated and changes it to inflict the same amount of damage directly to your opponent's life points. So these are the two main cards you need. Sorry if I sound really stupid or sick, because when I'm sick I don't feel that well, so I just thought I'd do this, see what you guys think, if it's a good deck. So let's get right into it. We'll start off with the monsters first of all. So as you see, sorry these cards aren't set up together, but we have we can do that. So we have two Cat of Ills. You can see the effect. When this card flips from face down, I can select one trap card from my graveyard and place it on top of my deck. By trap card, I usually use it for bad reaction if I don't have it, or I'd either use it for something else. And then we've got Mask of Darkness, which really helps out a lot. And let's see, we got Marshmallow, which defense wall. We got Lava Golem, which helps when your opponent has two creatures. As you can see, I have two of these nurses. I didn't want to have three because I made room for different cards. We have a Karibon, which is, if this card is, when this card is on the field, if somebody attacks it, your opponent gains that much life points, and return this card to your hand. So pretty much, if you had nurse or if you had bad reaction on the field, and somebody attacked you, cause damage. And of course, you need Morphing Jar. Morphing Jar is extremely helpful, especially if you draw on your first hand and you don't have a bad reaction, or you have a lot of good trap cards. It could really help out. So yeah, that's a good card that you need. Let's move on, and I'm just going to set these cards up as I go through the my deck. Then we have Rain of Mercy. Increase your opponent's life points by 1,000. Obviously, if you add any of those cards, it does 1,000 damage. Then we have Swords of Revealing Light, which is a useful card. Right after we have Soul Take. Destroy one of your opponent's face-up monster. The opponent gains 1,000 life points, which obviously leads to damage. And then, as you can see, we have Bad Reaction, which is the main card you need to draw. And we have 3 of those. But my favourite trap card is obviously Gift of Card. Increase your opponent's life points by 3,000. This is an extremely good card. This is one of the cards that makes your opponent quit early, especially if you draw 2 of those with bad reaction on your first go. It's pretty much a win game. This is my favourite trap card to draw. Then we have Gravity Bind, which pisses my opponents off quite a bit. Then we have Magical Cylinder, which is a very useful card. Now I use these cards, just in case something does go down and my cards get messed up, or somebody's going to destroy my cards. I have 7 tools of the Banded, and I also have Magic Jam, which I usually use to negate any effects that destroy this card or anything that's going to mess up my field. I got Metal Reflex Slime Token, which summons a level 10 monster with 0 attack with 3,000 defense, which is a good defense. Moving right on, we got the Eye of Truth, which is a very useful card. As long as this card remains faced up on the field, your opponent must show his or her hand and increase his or her life points by 1,000 points each of his standby phase if she has a spell card. So you get to see your opponent's hands just to see what he's trying to do in his hand, and just to see what cards he's holding up if he's saving it. And each of his standby phase, you get to see his hand, and if he does have a spell card in his hand in the standby phase, he will take 1,000 points. Like, he'll increase his life points by 1,000. Obviously, if you have Nurse or Bad Reactor, it's 1,000 damage. And we'll come to my second. Actually, we'll do that in a bit. So I just got to get these cards. I should have done before I did this. Then we have Trap Reclaimer. So discard 1 card and chain this card to a trap card that I activated. And instead of sending it to the graveyard, I could return it to my hand. So if I use Gift of Card and I want to use one more to win the duel, I could just discard any card from my hand and add it back to my hand and use it next turn. Just place it down on the field and it's pretty much a win. Then we come to the Path of Destiny. Me and the opponent flips a coin. If we get a heads, if you get heads, you gain 2,000 life points. If you get tails, you take 2,000. Now, if you have Nurse or Bad Reactor, your opponent's going to lose 2,000 either way. But this card could also really be helpful for gaining life points, because I had a match where me and my opponent had less than 1,000 life points. We had no cards on the field except this, so it was pretty much a lucky one, and I ended up getting life points. He ended up losing, so that's a good card. Then we got Dark Cure. I don't really use this card much, just because in the fact that by the time I draw it up, my opponent's already pretty messed up, or if I draw it up before I have Nurse or Bad Reactor, it's kind of useless. But every time an opponent summons, I could choose that creature, any of the creatures that he summoned on that turn, and half the attack points go to his life points. He gains it. Obviously, it deals damage with the Bad Reactor. Then we've got 3 Upstart Goblins. Now, some people use these cards, some of them don't. I don't know why they don't. You get a card and your opponent takes damage. Then we come to Bad Reactor. Obviously, I already told you, but I've never seen anybody use Reckless Greed. Sorry about that. I feel really bad. The cold got me pretty bad, actually. I've never seen anybody use Reckless Greed. I don't know why. Now, I've seen some things, and some people use the monsters that when they get destroyed, your opponent gains 800 life points. Now, I don't see what's the point of that when you've already got a ton load of damage cards. As you can see, they're all based on damage nearly. Why not replace those 3 monsters that's not going to be any of use anyway as a wall of defense, and replace them with some draw cards that actually does save you. Then I obviously have Level Limit Area B. I have 2 Pot of Duality, which helps me get Bad Reactor Simochi back into my hand. So as you can see, you know, some people use different anti-heals deck, which is kind of based on the same cards, but most likely you'd see about 3 nurses, you'd see not only one of these, you'd never see a Morphing Jar, I don't know why, and you'd never see Reckless Greed, but I think this deck is quite good. 90% of the time I win, or they go ASS, which is like reporting me, because they get all bitchy. So yeah, that's my first step. Next I'll be showing you a duel.